Hey, good morning. Good morning. I want to talk to you about lone wolfing it in your business. What happened to the community? What happened to the community around you to help you grow the company, the impact that you want? Or do you find yourself in isolation a lot? You find yourself, let's call it lone wolfing it. I have my son's little feet here with me. He's sitting here with me. So I'm definitely not lone wolfing it this morning because he wanted to do coffee with Shanda with me. But I want to talk to you about this challenging situation that driven people always find themselves in is like first, and see where you see yourself. First, it's like maybe you're lone wolfing it for so long and you realize, I really need to get a community around me. And so you go and you seek out a community around you, and then you get a community around you, and then maybe you still don't plug into the community, right? And so now you're still lone wolfing it, but you have a bunch of people around you. Then there's this other stage where it's like you do plug in, and then you get a certain level of success. And I see this all the time. I especially see this with my clients that hit $1 million. They hit $1 million. They stay really connected for a long period of time and a few years, and then they hit their $1 million status, and then they unplug again, and they go back to lone wolfing it. So here's the danger with lone wolfing it. You put yourself at a very, very high risk for stopping. You put yourself at a very, very high risk for shifting gears and chasing some other idea that you feel inspired about. And so you're actually really left to your emotional status determining whether or not you feel good about your business or you don't feel good about your business, or you're inspired or you're feeling low, whatever that is. You're like wrapped up in basically a solo version of what your life and your business can look like. And it's hugely detrimental because we learn from each other. And I know you already know this, but like, even when I look at like spirituality, or I look at like whether somebody's studying, their Course in Miracles, or they're studying scripture like I do, there's this conversation around community, and that we can't hear God's word when it's just us praying in all of its facets, meaning that like we learn from each other. There is a communication, there is a guidance that comes through when you're with other human beings. Often we'll say things like, oh, it's a sign I shouldn't do something, right? Because it's hard or it's not in the flow. And, I'll share something with you. Really, like, I want to make sure I don't shame anybody, because shame is such a wasted energy. But I was talking to someone yesterday that I hired to help me with copy. And she was actually my first original business coach. And we were working on copy yesterday for, I don't know, 3.5 hours. So 3.5 hours straight, we were just working on copy, positioning, some of what we're doing at the next zone event, which is going to be incredible. And just really putting in like, how do we make this incredibly good? So it took us about 3.5 hours. And she was sharing something with me about her community. And she said, people have a hard time. She said, it really kind of drives me crazy when people have a hard time watching 3 video modules a month. And I said, I get it. Hey, remember our deal? Remember our deal? If you want to sit on Coffee with Shanda, you got to sit here with me, okay? That's our deal. Sorry. He's getting to that age where he's wanting to be a part of more things. So I'm testing this out. Okay, so she says to me, I have clients, a lot of clients, she said, that complain about having to sit down and watch 3 modules a month. And she said, what's crazy is, she said, when I was starting my business, she said, it took her 6 years, I think she said, to hit $1 million. And she said, I had little kids. She has Crohn's disease. She, was in an abusive relationship and worked a full-time job. And at nighttime, she'd be consuming tons of video trainings, like every single night, to figure out how to put it all together. And I thought to myself, I said, I agree with that. Like, I didn't kill myself growing my business. I definitely didn't. That's really my stand in the world. But I definitely made sure I was around community of people. Like, if I look at where I started, there's a group of us that have stayed together, like Ree Perez, and there's a group of us that have stayed together, and we we almost started together, meaning that we were just kind of getting our feet underneath us in our business. And we've stayed together, and we've all stayed connected, and we've all grown to the top. And like, I could literally call my friend Ree or Suzanne Evans or a group of people, and it's like we know each other at such a deep depth because we all started together. And there's a power to that, because when I look in their eyes and I share an idea with them, what they mirror back to me is belief. And the number one reason why we don't make it is because we stopped believing that we could, or we never really did, unless we were in an inspired moment, right? Where we feel like we're hearing from God, and I think you are. And then what happens is you take over again, you take the reins over again. You're like, okay, I'm inspired. I hear from God. This is it. How many times have you been in this moment? Like, this is it. This is the thing I'm going to do. And then it's like, 6 months later, it's like, God showed me something else. And I really feel that God is rallying for you to succeed. I really do. And I feel like he's rallying for all of us kids to succeed. But the problem is we keep taking it into our own hands, and we keep going back into isolation. We start to lone wolf it. So I've even seen this when somebody has created, like, I have a program called Pace Private, and they'll create a certain result in Pace Private. First of all, I just heard from one of our coaches, 3 of her clients were like, oh, I don't want to watch the modules. They're boring. They're this, they're that. And it's like, I'm like sitting there going, do you see the success stories in the community? I mean, I just from last week have a legal size paper written of all the people taking Pace Private right now that have created results that people would earn in an entire year they've earned inside of a month or 2 months, which is incredible. And so I said to the coach, I said, these people are A-type personalities. And the A-type personalities, I know it because I'm one. And they tend to be impatient. They want things now, right? This is control off the rails. When control is off the rails, you're very impatient. You grab a hold of things, you just do it yourself because you think that you could do it better and nobody ever does it right. And here's the secret. The secret is letting go. I mean, I have this company, I'm definitely an A-type personality, and you would actually not know that if you were to follow me around inside of my company, believe it or not. You wouldn't know that as the way that I run the company and run the team, because I'm not on top of people controlling them, right? When a mistake happens, I don't go through the roof. This is all the power that community keeps giving you, because when you see people like you doing it differently and they're succeeding, you can actually attach your belief onto them, and you can believe your way up to success when you're around people who are succeeding around you, especially people who are like you. Now, the next question is do you find the connection points, or do you find the comparisons, right? Do you find the connection points, or do you find the comparisons? If you're still in a dialogue of comparisons, again, I'm not going to shame you on it. You already know you shouldn't be doing that, and it doesn't work. So the question is the reason why you're still doing it is because you haven't found another place to focus. All the growth of business comes down to, where do you put your focus? I have cups that say stay in the step you're in. That's why, because when you stay in the step you're in, you don't have the ability to compare. You also don't have the ability to get into gossip. You also don't have the ability to complain if you're actually focusing on the step you're in and you're committed to being productive. So instead of comparison, flip your focus onto what is the connection that I have with this person? Like, how are we the same? Like, if someone's succeeding in your space, think about, how are we the same? Sarah runs a company called Spanx, and like every time, like I feel she doesn't know this, but I kind of feel like home when I either talk to her or I text message with her or I see her post on Instagram. I feel like I'm at home with her. Like, I feel like I'm looking at a mirror. And it's like we have such similar personalities and hearts. And so as she succeeds in the world, and as she has all these babies, and as she has the relationship, and as she has the business, I find the connection point. I don't feel the anxiety that I'm not there yet. I don't have this, or I don't, you get what I'm saying? Because, oh, nice.
I don't need the apple.
You don't need the apple anymore? Okay. So do you see how that could healthily work for you? That if you would get out of comparison, stop feeling the pressure of growing your business.
No. Wait.
What?
It's too long to go. Too much on my food, okay?
Okay, thank you. Can you sit down? Can I finish? Because I'm saying something important right now. Can I finish? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Okay, let me finish. You can sit on my lap, but let me finish. Okay?
Daddy on my lap.
This is how imperfect it looks all the time, and it's perfect. Okay. Okay, I have a question for you.
Goodbye.
Okay, sit down. Hey, can you color Catboy for me? Come on, color Catboy for me. Come on. Whoa. Color Catboy for me, okay?
Please.
Please. Okay. Okay, let me finish, okay? Promise?
Yeah.
Thank you. So do you see how that could support you if you were to take like your focus from feeling the pressure of somebody else succeeding around you and taking that pressure and putting it on how am I like that person? Okay, Zach, I'm going to ask you to sit here for a second.
No.
Hey.
No.
Hey.
No.
Is that how we talk to each other? Is that how we talk to each other? Is that how we talk to each other? Okay. Do you want to be on Coffee with Shanda with me? If you don't, we don't have to do that. We can have you go sit with your dad. Do you want to do that? Okay, then let me finish, okay? Let me finish. Thank you. I appreciate that.
No, I don't want it.
So, thanks you guys for your patience of our Coffee with Shanda with my son. Okay, listen. If you want to be on Coffee with Shanda with me, I need you to hang out, okay? All right? You've done so good.
But I don't want
I know.
to do it anymore.
You don't want me to do it anymore? Okay, let me finish on this point, and then we'll end, okay?
Not to stay with Daddy.
Okay, go see Daddy.
No.
Okay, here, do you want some of my golden milk? Try it. It's really good. Try it. Anyway, so let me end on this point. You can't allow the pressure of growing a business to steal your business because it will. And you can't allow the pressure of watching other people to succeed to put you in a position where you start comparing yourself. Even some people get aggressive where they actually make other people wrong. I actually watched Grant Cardone do that with Gary Vee. You know, and it's just like, it just doesn't work. We don't have to step on other people to make it to the top. We just don't. And so at the end of the day, when we look at you know, how we're responding to other people winning around us, look at how we're similar and it's like suction cups, and suction cup your way on other people's success, and it will build your belief system. And I'm just saying, the calling that you have inside you, it's made for big things. And I know there are seasons where you feel like quitting. I said seasons, like not like a day. There are seasons. Like I've had like year-long stretches where periodically throughout the year, multiple times, I've like wanted to just make it all about me and just keep the business here and don't do anything else, you know? And so I'm just telling you, entrepreneurship has nothing to do. It's just not a selfish game. It has nothing to do with you. And so what you have to do is figure out how to suction cup your mind and your thoughts on other people's success and stay connected to community. If you can do that, you're going to find that you will skyrocket. When Saki, can you drink some of this, please? Do you ever do this to your kids? See? Just put them down there. Anyway, I want the best for you guys. I really do. And I promise you, Coffee with Shanda tomorrow will not be with this child. You are going to have to sit with Daddy tomorrow. I think he's going to be an actor. What do you think? Actor for sure. All right. On that note, this 4-year-old is done with Coffee with Shanda. All right, you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.